Hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Daniel Manzano y una vez más, bienvenidos a su canal Inglés Americano 101. Esta va a ser una clase de lectura y como siempre ya sabe que lo que quiero que haga es que dése cuenta cómo digo las palabras. Trate de escuchar cómo lo estoy diciendo y trate de repetirlo lo mejor que pueda. Eso va a ser interesante. Es algo que pasó hace muchos años, en la era de los indios y la Guerra Civil. Había mucho búfalo. Dicen que los campos estaban infestados de búfalo. Y el búfalo era algo muy importante para los indios porque usaban la piel, la carne y usaban los huesos. Cuando llegaron la gente de Europa, empezaron a matar a muchos de esos búfalos. Y eso creó conflicto con los indios y había muchos ataques por causa de eso, porque a veces hasta la gente, los europeos estaban matando búfalos. Sí los estaban vendiendo y también estaban usando la carne y la piel y cosas así, pero también unos estaban matando búfalos solamente por deporte. Y eso enfureció, le molestó mucho a los indios. Le voy a leer esto y voy a poner la traducción abajo en la descripción de este video. Vamos a empezar. Y dice así. Before white settlers push into the vast West in any great numbers, an estimated 50 to 60 million buffalo freely roamed upon the Great Plains. American Indians hunted them for food and other necessities. However, after the Civil War, that would change as more and more people moved westward. At about the same time, the iron horse also began to blaze a trail. Ahí donde dice the iron horse, están hablando del tren. El tren el caballo de acero o de fierro. The iron horse also began to blaze a trail into the west. And these construction men also had to be fed. Adding to the need for food, these events put many men to work as buffalo hunters. Kansas became a trading center for the buffalo hides, and tanneries found even more uses for the material, such as making drive belts for industrial machines and grinding buffalo bones into fertilizer. In some places, buffalo tongues became a delicacy in fine restaurants. Soon the demand for buffalo had increased to such a degree that year-round work was available for buffalo hunters. And all of this was occurring in a time that the economy was depressed after the Civil War. And it led many tough men to earn his living as buffalo hunters. Armed with powerful long-range rifles, individual hunters could kill as many as 250 buffalo a day. Tanneries paid as much as $3 per hide and 25 cents for each tongue, which made a nice living for hundreds of men, including Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, Pat Garrett, Wild Bill Hickok, and William F. Cody. The Indians watched in dismay as buffalo hunting took on an almost a carnival atmosphere when railroads advertised hunting by rail. This occurred when trains sometimes encountered large herds of buffalo crossing the tracks. Seeing a way to capitalize on the problem, the advertising flooded the newspapers, and in no time, sporting men with rifles were shooting buffalo by the hundreds, just for fun. Those animals shot from the train were simply left there to die. As the slaughter continued, the Indians became increasingly angry and resentful as they watched their main source of sustenance dwindle at the hands of the white men. This led to more and more Indian attacks, which resulted in U.S. Army retaliation. It was also at this time that the U.S. government desired to separate the Indians from the rest of civilization by placing them on reservations. In order to do this, the U.S. Army aggressively pursued a policy to eradicate the buffalo, intentionally extinguishing the Indian sustenance, which would force them into reservations. By 1884, the great era of the buffalo ended, and nothing remained of the massive buffalo herds but piles of bones. At that time, there were only some 2,000 surviving buffalo left in the United States. Fortunately, early conservation efforts led to the establishment of the first national park, Yellowstone, in 1872. There, a small buffalo herd was preserved, but still, that few that were left outside of the park were being killed on federal land. So in 1894, the Lacey Act was signed into law, prohibiting the killing of any wildlife in federal preserves. The buffalo were saved from extinction, and today it is estimated that there are over 150 on public preserves and in private hands. Tremendo, ¿verdad? Todas las cosas que tuvieron que pasar para que haya las cosas que tenemos el día de hoy. Ve esta clase más de una vez, trate de repetirlo, trate de pronunciarlo lo mejor que pueda. Y poco a poco se va a dar cuenta que lo empiece a decir mejor y mejor. Recuerde que yo no hablaba nada de inglés. Yo tuve que empezar desde cero como muchas personas. Recuerde, si usted necesita ayuda con su inglés, yo le puedo ayudar. Deme la oportunidad de ayudarle a través de mi curso. Que vaya a mi página web para más información. Es www.inglesamericano101.com o que nos hable al 256-558-5533. Eso es todo. Muchas gracias y nos vemos en la clase que sigue. Hasta pronto.